Good morning, everybody. My name is Karl Olsson, and I'm an engineer from Sweden. Right now, I live in Dubai, and I'm an electrical engineer. But what I'm here to do today, I'm very pleased and proud to be here, is to talk about security in an insecure or unsecure world. Cypod is a company, technology company. We're based in Norway and in Dubai. And what we are doing, I will explain during the next half an hour. One of our major shareholders is also a gold sponsor of the event here with Elite Vard. That's Mr. George Essat, and unfortunately he couldn't be here this morning, but he will come later. So what do I mean with digital security? I'll explain the vision that the company has. Technology doesn't always cooperate. I will show you a short video about the vision, and this was George's vision when he started to
Pilgrimage to
invest in the
Mecca
company.
through Umrah or Hajj pose many logistical challenges. This year alone, 12 million pilgrims are expected to visit Mecca. Due to the ever-increasing number of visitors, sustainable crowd control measures becomes a necessity. Visitors arrive through many different means of transportation, the most common being plane, boat, and bus. Pilgrims arrive to and from the nearby cities, such as Medina and Jeddah. We deliver a solution to meet these challenges. All foreign visitors need to enter through immigration. We are adding our technology to complement the existing immigration process and solutions. Visitors entering immigration will be checked for identification. They must then register through biometric finger and face scans. Our solution is based on issuing a device called the Cycard. The Cy is short for cipher, the main ingredient of a cryptogram. Our focus on privacy dictates our choice of partners. Our partnerships allow us to maintain a truly unrivaled encryption standard. With the Cycard at hand, visitors may use the device for several purposes, like adding vouchers, add cash, or adding cash to use as a payment card. The use of vouchers will fulfill the need for transportation and accommodation. Using the Cycard, authorized personnel can easily access medical records and other important information about the card's owner. The vouchers are securely stored on the device behind a biometric lock from the owner's fingerprint. The Cycard contains a location tracker. The system communicates on the sub-gigahertz frequency infrastructure. The system uses the triangulation method to determine the visitor's position. This applies to areas with the presence of the GSM network and of moderate density. Through the system, we can track movements per individual with a precision ranging from 2 to 6 meter radius. For areas requiring special attention and with larger density, we build a mesh network for the crowd control. This also applies to areas which are not covered with the existing infrastructure of GSM presence. The mesh network operates as a zone and reports to the control center. This structure offers much higher precision and can handle a larger density of people in one area. The system can do as much as 6 persons per square meter inside a mesh network zone. To meet and preserve control, we've added group transmissions. This means that upon entering a bus together with other authorized visitors, the bus becomes a checkpoint for ID and destination approval. The system registers all passengers entering or leaving the bus, including any stops along the way. The bus transmits the passenger status to the central and reports positioning throughout the journey. Unauthorized access of the bus will trigger an installed sensor system. This generates an alarm that is sent to the central for attention. The system and its structure contains several smart solutions to make the battery extremely sustainable. The solution uses low-power technology to maximize reliability. An additional advantage is minimizing the amount of radio pollution emitted compared to regular smartphones and Bluetooth solutions. The Cycard is a smart design with the versatility needed to overcome complex crowd control challenges. Please contact us for further information.
So what I will talk about here today is our vision for protecting people and assets and by means of a secure protocol for communication and encryption. So what we are doing, we allow people and assets to be protected, and we know where they are in order to create a system that is impossible to hack. And I'll come back to that. So I would go through a little bit about our products and the technology used and show you some use cases as well, and why we decided to take the route and avenue that we are actually progressing into. So we decided to develop the technology for Rtls, stands for real-time location system. We did it in a proprietary way that allows us to look after the huge amount of data you saw here in the case with Hajj, where you have millions of people at the same time communicating. I'll come back to why we didn't choose to work on LoRa or Sigfox or GSM or Wi-Fi or low energy Bluetooth, but the main reason is of course that we wanted to create something secure and something that is low energy. Like if you have too many people using Bluetooth in a confined area, it will be like a microwave oven, and that's not very good for anyone, of course. So the benefits of personnel tracking and management, I think they are quite obvious, because you know at all times where people are, and you can create you can create zones where they are allowed to be, and alarm when they stray outside their area where they are permitted to be. And that's called geofencing. One case we are working with right now is a big energy plant in North Africa, where there are around 2,000 employees, and a lot of subcontractors are coming in and out of the facility all the time. And people and staff work alone sometimes. So if something happens to them, no one is there to help them. So what we do is we equip all staff with cards, and we cover the area with our infrastructure in order to have radio coverage and allow us to triangulate where the people are at all times. In the card, we have installed accelerometers and gyros, so we can see if someone is falling, and then an alarm is triggered. We can also see if a visitor is moving away from the path that they are allowed to be. And we integrate the system with existing authorization and perimeter security system, and allow the people to open doors with the electronic locks that they are allowed and supposed to be entering into. Where they are not allowed to go, they cannot open. And all people, what they do is you identify yourself with biometrics to the card. So that opens the NFC, near field communication transponder in the card, and you can open the door. These are the three cards we are having. This one here is a regular smart card, you can say, and you can use it to store up to 64 credit cards, driver's license, certificates, medical record, and everything is encrypted and can only be opened with your biometrics. The next one here, we call it a SILOC. That one is more geared towards industrial environments. It's tracked, the card is tracked and you can open with biometrics, but we can also have, we have man-down functions on it, panic buttons, message can be sent to the user to evacuate, and so on. The third card to the right is a high secure card where you can have up to 6 levels of authentication before you can access the information. And that one is for VIP persons. Maybe they want to store their passwords, credit cards, access code to secret computer systems, and so on. Here you see the infrastructure. What we have here is the synode. It could either be portable, operated, or powered by like a battery pack that you have to your cell phone. And this one is for a permanent installation. And it's of the same size and resemblance as a fire alarm or something like that. So if we wanted, it's not realistic, but if we wanted to track everyone in here, you would have one card each in your pocket. We would have put out a few of these in the ceiling, and they would have communicated through this bridge, which is connected to a router, either wireless or wired, with a normal Cat5 internet cable. And this one is then transmitting to the server, either directly or via the cloud, to the control room where we can see where everybody is. And this antenna is for outdoor usage. The case I talked about in North Africa for the energy plant, the area is about 100 hectares, like a golf course or something like that. And it's several turbines and buildings for offices and maintenance staff. And so we are installing this equipment all over in order to create adequate coverage of the area. This is what I just said. Here you see the base stations. They are not very big, like a fire alarm in the roof. And here you have the different cards that we can track. And these ones triangulate on the card using RF technology. And as I said, we decided to use proprietary interfaces in the sub-gigahertz band, and it's adjustable which frequencies you are to use. And all communication is secured by encryption and password exchange between the between the users and the base station. And the technology we would use to position the person is time difference of arrival, where we measure the phase shift of the return signal from the card. And here you see the side bridge connected to a regular router, and then it goes up to control room. This is a little bit about the various technologies you can use to solve the same problem, and the advantages and disadvantages. But we are here using a proprietary sub-gigahertz network, and as you know, the lower the frequency you use, the better penetration ability has the signal. If you are very high up in the frequency band, like for Wi-Fi or even higher, then you don't penetrate walls as well as we do. But I would say the main advantage with our solution is that we can handle huge volumes of data, and everything is encrypted. The various technologies you see here, this is low energy Bluetooth. This is ultra wideband, which is good if you want to position something with a huge accuracy, centimeters. You have Wi-Fi and of course LoRa. And regular GSM or 4G cannot do the work because of the volumes of data, and we would choke the communication channels immediately. What we also have in the card is a near-field communication circuit. So that one is programmed to integrate with the existing electronic lock system you have in a facility. Like the energy plant I talked about in North Africa, there we integrate with existing door opening system, controlling the access to various rooms and spaces. We integrate with an API to existing perimeter control security system, and everything is displayed with our front end and software that can integrate CCTV cameras if needed, anything pretty much, any sensor in addition to what we have. Geofencing is a concept where you create virtual fences based on geography. So what we can do here is we set up zones identified only by where they are, not necessarily by doors and walls and rooms. So it's invisible borderlines. And then we program the card the individual has where he or she, the person, is allowed to be in the facility. And then we can issue an alarm if someone goes astray or is in a place they are not supposed to be. This is another application we have been working with, which is work process management. Like, it could be maintenance staff, or it could be janitors cleaning the washrooms. You have seen the worksheets in washrooms where staff says, I was here 9:50 cleaning the room. What we can see here is that who is where and how long the staff has been executing the actual task they are meant to do. In one case, in an airport, they charge the use of machinery for the planes, the aircrafts. So the machinery is common for the airport, and then the machinery is moved between various aircraft for cleaning and for communication, whatever it can be. And the staff and the machinery, we can then see how long they have been at a certain work task, and hence you can use that information for accurate charging and billing to the airline. And of course, you can set alarms in order to detect if someone has not been moving for a while, not so much to check that they are working, more to see if there's an accident or someone needs assistance. This is the real-time Rtls, real-time location system, front-end software that integrates in any existing computing and ISIT system by means of APIs. This software is used in Sweden for the security services, where they connect land register, fire brigades, the cars, and with the national control room. And so the leaders for the rescue services can see if you have an ambulance or a fire truck going to an accident. They can see everything that is happening in this software. There are cameras in the fire truck. They have firemen. They have body cameras. You can see them. You integrate with a land register to see if there are any industries in the vicinity that can explode or create a big problem. So the rescue service management, seeing the spot and the place of the accident, have all the controls and communication that is necessary in order to execute the mission. I'll show you another short video on a use case in an airport.
Airports face many challenges when it comes to personnel tracking and access control. Their size, combined with a need for heightened security, means that existing technology is not sufficient. In order to meet these challenges, we have developed a solution that is both scalable and secure. Real-time tracking of personnel is achieved through a wearable device called the Cycard. In combination with our flexible mesh network, any object or personnel may be located in real time. Sector antennas will be erected in several of the airport's locations. The network communicates on the sub-gigahertz frequency infrastructure. Using trilateration, this system is able to track individuals with a precision ranging from a 2 to 6 meter radius. For areas that require special attention, such as FOD zones, the network can be extended to allow for higher precision. In addition to tracking, the Cycard allows for securely authorizing personnel access. Each person wearing the Cycard will be assigned an ID. Tied to this ID is the person's access rights stored as digital keys. These keys are safely stored behind biometric locks such as fingerprint scans. The Cycard uses low-power technology to maximize reliability. This comes with the added benefit of emitting minimal radio pollution compared to smartphones or Bluetooth devices. Please contact us for further information.
I'll show you, before my time is up, another short video about another use case, which is used to reduce insurance cost. It's called you have all heard about finance technology or FinTech. There is another concept called InsurTech, insurance technology. And that, the idea is that when you, in logistics chain, you can figure out where something went wrong and identify which step in the chain someone dropped a box or something and it broke. Then you can go to that company, truck, shipping, or whatever it is, and ask them for reimbursement. And that can reduce your insurance cost. Okay.
The transport of goods is a difficult process to perfect. Variance in climate, handling, and types of goods all bring their own sets of challenges. Keeping track of various aspects of goods in transport therefore calls for advanced and flexible systems. Today's systems offer limited tracking and logistics solutions. Passive RFID lets you see the location of packages only as they arrive through checkpoints, and temperature measurements can only be read after delivery. Rigid, limited systems are not sufficient when tracking needs can vary from container to container. To make sure that each part of every shipment gets the level of tracking required, we created the SciTag. The SciTag is a smart chip with active RFID and is built on dual-channel communication. It allows you to adjust the level of tracking depending on each shipment's needs. Chips placed in the same area can sense each other and build a mesh network between themselves. The mesh network consists of several layers. Single, box, pallet, pallet group, and container. If any unit is separated from the network will trigger an alert and register the event. On a ship, an entire network of containers might share a single satellite connection or be connected to the AIS system. This allows you to track location and measurements in real time during transport instead of being limited to checkpoints. The data can be viewed using averages or per individual chip, allowing for both reliable and precise information. Measurements include temperature, humidity, and movement. The live measurements can be continuously reported and can be accessed anytime, anywhere, through any freight management software solution. The chips come in 3 variations: the SciTag, a disposable short-term unit; the SciTag Plus, using replaceable batteries; and the SciTag Collector, a long-term attachment to the containers themselves.
So, what you have heard during these 30 minutes is Cypod Technologies, high capacity, secure encrypted solutions for authentication, tracking, and positioning of goods and people. Thank you very much for listening. It was a pleasure to be here.